So hello and welcome anime viewers to another video. Today we are going to be talking about a movie called The Silent Voice. The movie starts with a boy who decides to quit his part-time job and sells all his belongings, for which he gets 3000 yen. He withdraws all that money from the bank, places it in an envelope and puts it beside the bed of a woman to whom he owes that money. The boy is about to jump from the bridge, but suddenly he stops. He is distracted by the kids who are lighting fireworks. He crosses the date on the calendar and heads back home. We are taken into the flashback of 6th grade elementary school students and a group of 3 friends, among whose the MC, Shouya, the dominant one, who's good at everything and is popular as well at school. A new student joins the class and the teacher asks her to introduce herself. She opens her backpack and tells out a notebook. Her name is Shouko, and she asks everyone to use her notebook to talk to her. She also lets the class know that she can't hear. Later, all the girls gather around Shouko and try to communicate with her. The teacher is giving a lecture, but Shulker can't hear what he's saying. One of the girls asks her to hand over the notebook to help her understand what's going on. Next up in the music class, the girl once again struggles to feel included. She started singing but is told that she's singing too fast. One of the girls says she'll help her with her timing. The next day in the class, the teacher randomly asks different students to read. Now, it's Shoko's turn to read, but her speech is different and sounds strange. Then it's Joya's turn to read. The mocks the girl by reading the same way. As Shouko tries to fit in with the rest of the class, she becomes an easy target for Shouya and his pals. To bully, he throws dirt in the girl's eyes when she asks him to become friends. To help Shouko fit in, communicate and learn, the school decides to teach this class sign language. All students must attend 3-minute lessons in sign language. Each morning, one of the students named Sahara volunteers to help Shouko. Shouya and the rest of the gang find another opportunity to bully Shouko. He writes some hurtful stuff on the board and pretends someone else has done it. He even erases it for Shouko, unaware of his intention, thanks him for erasing the message. The next day in class, Shouya yells into Shouko's ears and she gets startled. Everyone's surprised that she can hear the girl with the black hair named Naoko. Later checks Shouko's ears and finds out that she is wearing a hearing aid. The girl asks her to show her the hearing aid and throws him towards Shouya, who throws them outside. The deaf girl becomes victim of Shouya's bullying every day in different forms. One day, things go too far and Shouko starts bleeding, for which the boy gets into trouble. After, when Shouya and his friends are about to leave for home, Shouko confronts him and has a message for them, which is written down on her notebook. She says I'm sorry and that she and Shouya are friends. Shouya doesn't like that he throws away a notebook in the fountain water and continues to walk away. Shouka gets inside the puddle of the water to pull out her notebook. The next day, the principal addresses the class and informs everyone that Shouko is absent today. They received a call from her mother, who told them that 8 of her hearing aids have gone missing or have been damaged. The principal also informs the class that the girl's mother has complained that she is being bullied at school. He asks all the students to let him know if they have witnessed Shouko being bullied or become a victim of harassment. Her hearing aids are quite expensive and the one responsible for this can get in a lot of trouble. Therefore, it's best to come out on their own. The teacher speaks up. He asks Toya to stand up because everyone knows it's him who's been bullying the girl. When Shouya says he wasn't the only one, all of his friends turn against him. Shouya's mother receives a call from the school. She asks Shouya to prepare to meet the girl and apologize to her on their way. She withdraws money from the bank and gives it to the girl's mother for the damage Shouya has caused to her hearing. Shouya's mother advises him to be a good boy from tomorrow. Now the tables have turned. Shouya becomes the victim of bullying. He finds Shouko in the classroom cleaning his desk. After all that's happened, the boy is surprised to see her smile. He believes she's faking it. It must be angry and that she's pretending to be a good girl. As a result, the two get into a fight and start hitting each other. Shouko has now moved to another school. Shouya discovers and saves a notepad that Shouko left behind. Fast forward a year later, Shouya, a melancholy loner who can't look others in the eyes and imagines an X sign over the faces of people, has been an outcast since middle school for his reputation as a bully. To tie up the loose ends, the boy goes to the sign language club. There he spots a girl with long hair who looks similar to Shouko. He reaches out to her and introduces himself. Shouko smiles again but tries to run after the brief encounter. Shouya runs after her and says he came to give her the notebook that she left back in school. He used his sign language to talk to her. Shouko stands to learn that the boy who practically refused to learn sign language now knows if the girl gets all teared up upon receiving the notebook in sign language. Shouya tells her that they can be friends. Wait a second, the boy now realizes what she used to say back to him in the school days. Alas, it was a dream. The boy was dreaming about making amends with Shouko. Next morning, Shouya has breakfast with his mother, who is pleased to receive the money she happens to know about her son's attempt to jump from a bridge, and brings it up at the table. She yells at him and asks him to promise that he'll never do it again. Realizes that he's got to take responsibility for what he did to Shouko, and hence has isolated himself from everything. Even his friends had turned their back on him. Another loner, Domohiro, best friends Shouya. After he saves him from a bully, the two become friends and start hanging out. Often Shouya tries to see Shouko by visiting her at school, but Shoko's friend Yuzuru doesn't let him see her. When he tries to talk to her the second time, Domohiro pops up out of nowhere. He's been following his friends and asks Yuzuru to allow the two to meet finally. The two meeting, Shouya tells her that he's been looking for an excuse to meet her for a really long time. Shouko tells that she wanted to meet him too, and together, the two began feeding bread to the fish in the river. While they're talking, Shouko wanted to read her old notebook, but Shouya doesn't want her to remember the past and tries to take it. Hence, the notebook accidentally falls into the river. The girl jumps into the river to retrieve it, and Shouya follows her. They manage to grab the notebook and climb out of the river safely. Shouko tells Shouya that they'll see each other again. Unhappy with everything that's happened, Yuzuru takes a photo of Shouya and puts it online. As a form of revenge, the next day everyone in school is talking about this incident and showing us stunned to see his picture posted online. Since jumping into the river is illegal, Shouya gets a suspension for this act. Shouya comes across Yuzuru, who's run away from home, hiding in the kids' playground, sleeping in one of the boxes. Shouya wonders if Yuzuru is Shoko's boyfriend. As they talk, Yuzuru confesses about the picture posted online. Shouya, who was out in the park with Maria, his sister's kid, asks Yuzuru to go home. As he leaves the park too, Uzuru is too tired to get up, so he drags and takes Uzuru home to give him something to eat. It's night time and everyone's asleep. Yuzuru remembers Shoko's words to apologize for posting the picture or else to leave home. Saddened by what happened, Yuzuru goes outside. Shouya follows Uzuru out of the door in the middle of the night. He lends his old shoes and asks the reason for running away. Uzuru confesses about an argument with Shouko. The two reconcile and become friends before leaving. Yuzuru tells Shouya that she's not Shoko's boyfriend and that she's actually her sister, by which he gets embarrassed. Suddenly, Shoko's mother comes and slaps him. Later at home, she tells the girls to stay away from Shouya. Shouya and Shouko reunite with the former classmate Sahara, who was kind to Shouko in elementary school. Shouya leaves the girls, and while walking he meets Naoka. Later she finds Shouya while riding the bike, who is observing Shouko from afar. Naoka runs towards Shouko and removes her hearing aid, but Shouya stops her. He tells Naruga that they are friends, but she doesn't believe him and leaves the next day. Shouko subsequently gives Shouya a gift and confesses her feelings for him, but Shouya misunderstands her since she attempts to voice her feelings rather than sign them out. Later, the boy invites Shotgun to a theme park with Sahara, Tomohira, Miki, who is another elementary school classmate, and Miki's friend. They are joined there by Naoka, who leads Shouko into a Ferris wheel. Naoka expresses a dislike for Shouko, accusing her of causing a wedge between her and Shouya. Back at home, Yuzuru, who was secretly filming the encounter, shows Shouya the footage of it. Miki discloses Shouya's past to the kids, who are unaware of it. Desperate to avoid being held responsible for her role in tormenting Shouko after the leak later, she tries to apologize to the group, but Shouya dismisses everyone. After Naoka's dismissive attitude, Shouya discovers Shouko and Yuzuru's grandmother had recently passed away. Showing us heartbroken to see the two of them so tense and gloomy, he decides to take them to the countryside to cheer them up, where he discovers that Shouko blames herself for everything that has happened to him. Shouya makes the decision to focus his entire life on the sisters. Shouko travels home under the pretense of finishing schoolwork during a fireworks event, where Uzuru asks him to get her camera. Shouya obliges that he comes to find Shouko on the balcony trying to do something stupid, but Shouya manages to catch her and drag her to safety, but he falls into the river below. He's saved by his former elementary school best buddies. Unfortunately, he falls into a coma. Shouko meets with each of the group members to discuss her and Shouya's problems in the hopes of assisting Shouya's. Naoka accuses Shouko about what happened to Shouya and tries to slap her, but Shouko's mother comes and stops her. Shouko sees a dream about showing her paying her a farewell visit one night. She rushes to the bridge, terrified, and collapses. Sho wakes up from his coma and wanders to the bridge where he finds Shouko. He apologizes for how he treated her, asking her to stop blaming herself. Shouya then asks her to help him in staying alive, and she agrees. Shouya is reunited with his pals when he returns to school. We realize how much they still care about him. Short, he discovers that he can finally look people in the eyes again. When he visualizes the X marks fading away as the pals attend the school festival together, Shouya sobs as he looks around his family and all his new friends, knowing that he's finally atoned for his sins, and then the movie ends. So this is the end for the video, and make sure to subscribe this channel and also press the bell icon. Till then, goodbye, see you, and sayonara.